Have you ever wondered how the magic of cinema came into being? Let's journey back in time to the late 19th century, to a world without moving pictures. The year is 1895, and two French brothers, Auguste and Louis Lumière, are about to change the world. They invent the cinematograph, a machine that can both capture and project motion. Now imagine the excitement as the Lumière brothers host the first ever public screening of a movie. The film is simple, a short clip of workers leaving their factory, but to the audience, it's nothing short of a miracle. They are witnessing life as they know it, but on a screen. This was the birth of cinema, a birth that would forever change how we tell and experience stories. The pioneering years of cinema gave birth to the silent era of films, a time when the moving images spoke for themselves without the aid of sound. It was a time when cinema relied heavily on physical acting and visual cues to tell a story. Think of the great Charlie Chaplin, with his iconic bowler hat and cane, his every movement conveying a story that needed no words. This period saw the rise of many legendary figures, from Buster Keaton with his deadpan expression to the enchanting Greta Garbo. These stars of the silent era mesmerized audiences with their expressive faces and dramatic gestures, making us laugh, cry, and gasp in suspense without uttering a single word. In this era, the filmmakers had to be innovative, using techniques like exaggerated acting, title cards, and live music to engage the audience. It was a time of experimentation and creativity, a time when cinema was finding its feet and learning to walk. And so the silent era set the stage, drawing the curtains open for the world of cinema. It was a world that was silent, yet spoke volumes. But what happened when voices finally entered the picture? Scene script? Can you imagine a world where movies had no dialogues, only music and subtitles? Well, that was the reality until 1927. Picture this: a dimly lit theater packed with people in the roaring 20s, their eyes glued to the silver screen. Suddenly, the room erupts with gasps and applause. Why, you ask? Because for the first time, they heard an actor speak. This was the magic of The Jazz Singer, the first feature-length film to include synchronized dialogue. Before this revolutionary moment, films were silent, relying on exaggerated expressions, body language, and title cards to tell the story. A piano or an orchestra often accompanied these movies, providing a musical backdrop to the on-screen drama. But with The Jazz Singer, everything changed. The film was a sensation, not just because of its captivating story or charismatic performances, but because it brought the element of sound into cinema. The audiences were awestruck. They could hear the characters speak, they could listen to their emotions, their arguments, their songs. It was a whole new dimension of storytelling. This monumental innovation didn't just change how stories were told, but also who could tell them. Artists who were previously restricted to stage performances could now share their talents with a wider audience. The film industry became an even bigger melting pot of creativity, where actors, musicians, and writers could collaborate to create cinematic masterpieces. But as they say, every coin has two sides. The introduction of sound also led to the decline of silent films. The expressive art of pantomime and the deft skill of conveying emotions without words began to fade away. With the advent of talkies, many stars of the silent era found their careers in jeopardy, unable to adapt to the new demands of the industry. So, the introduction of sound was both a leap forward and a step back. It opened up new avenues for storytelling, but also closed the chapter on a unique era of cinema. While sound was a game changer, another revolution was about to dazzle the audience: color. Remember the first time you saw a film in color? Imagine that feeling multiplied 100 times. That was the impact of color films. It was as though a new dimension was added to the cinematic world. The introduction of Technicolor, which arrived in the mid-20th century, was nothing short of revolutionary. This three-color process brought hues that were more vibrant, more intense, and ultimately more realistic. The Technicolor process was not just a technical advancement, but a creative one. It transformed the way filmmakers thought about their work, infusing their storytelling with an entirely new layer of depth and meaning. It was no longer just about dialogue and movement, but also about mood, atmosphere, and emotion. The first full-color film to truly capture the public's imagination was the iconic The Wizard of Oz. Can you recall Dorothy stepping out from her sepia-toned Kansas home into the vivid Technicolor world of Oz? That enchanting moment symbolized the power of color. It was a clear message to audiences worldwide that films had evolved and there was no going back. The Wizard of Oz was more than just a film. It was an experience. It changed audience expectations forever. People wanted to see more of this colorful world that was so different from their everyday life. They wanted to escape, to dream, to feel. This was the magic of color films. But the impact of Technicolor extended beyond the film industry. It influenced the way we perceive reality itself. It made us see our own world in a different light. Quite literally, it made us realize that color is not just a visual element, but a powerful storytelling tool. Color didn't just bring films to life, it gave them a soul. It made stories more relatable, characters more human, and emotions more palpable. It made the unreal seem real and the real seem unreal. Color brought films to life, but the next evolution brought the audience into the film. Ever felt like you could reach out and touch the characters on screen? Welcome to the era of 3D and IMAX. Let's take a step back to the mid-20th century when the concept of 3D was first introduced. It was a novel idea, using two images projected onto the same screen through different color filters. The audience, wearing glasses with corresponding filters, would then perceive these images as a single three-dimensional scene. But the technology was far from perfect. The images often appeared blurry, and the color was distorted due to the filters. Fast forward a few decades to the turn of the 21st century, when digital technology breathed new life into 3D cinema. Now, instead of using color filters, the images were projected in high-definition digital format, and the glasses used polarized lenses. The result was a clear, crisp, and truly three-dimensional picture that seemed to leap off the screen. Around the same time, another cinematic revolution was taking place: the advent of IMAX. IMAX, which stands for Image Maximum, was designed to create an immersive cinematic experience. It achieved this through a combination of larger screens, sharper images, and enhanced sound systems. But what really set IMAX apart was the introduction of dome screens in some theaters. These screens enveloped the audience, extending from the front to the back of the theater, creating a 180-degree field of view. This made the viewers feel as if they were inside the movie, a part of the action. The emergence of 3D and IMAX technologies led to an entirely new genre of films specifically designed for these formats. Directors and cinematographers began to think in three dimensions, using the technology to enhance storytelling and create an immersive experience. Movies like Avatar and Gravity challenged the boundaries of cinema, taking audiences on journeys into deep space and alien worlds. With the audience now in the middle of the action, the cinema experience was transformed. But what about the people behind the camera? Ever wondered who are the unsung heroes that bring these cinematic masterpieces to life? Well, let's delve into the world behind the silver screen, where the magic truly happens. The process of filmmaking is a symphony of art and technology, brought together by a team of dedicated professionals whose passion and expertise are as varied as the roles they play. At the helm, we have the director, the visionary, who orchestrates the entire production. From the initial concept to the final cut, they oversee every aspect, ensuring that the film stays true to its vision. With the advent of new technologies, directors have been able to push the boundaries of storytelling, creating immersive and breathtaking cinematic experiences. Next, we have the producers, the ones who ensure that the director's vision comes to fruition. They are the backbone of any film, juggling logistics, finances, and countless other responsibilities. With the rise of streaming platforms and new distribution channels, their role has expanded, navigating the evolving landscape of the film industry. Then there are the sound engineers, the auditory wizards who breathe life into a film. From the subtle rustle of leaves to the explosive sound of a blockbuster action scene, they create an auditory landscape that enhances the storytelling. Advances in sound technology have given these maestros a broader palette to work from, allowing them to create more immersive and impactful soundscapes. And let's not forget the editors, the unsung heroes who stitch together the narrative. They weave the director's vision into a seamless story, deciding what stays on the cutting room floor and what makes it to the final cut. With the advent of digital editing, their role has evolved, enabling them to craft narratives with greater precision and creativity. The world of cinema has come a long way, and it continues to evolve, enthralling audiences around the globe. The people behind the camera, these unsung heroes, continue to push the boundaries of what's possible, pioneering new ways to tell stories that captivate, inspire, and entertain us all.